Good morning. It is 9:32 at East Georgia's Morning Show, powered by Southern Chiropractic and Wellness Center. We have Rey Rodriguez here. Rey is a candidate for Bulloch County Sheriff. And Rey, we were talking about how much population growth there's been in Bulloch County. There's a lot of registered voters here in the county.
Oh, absolutely. So like I was saying earlier when we passed by, there was already a line. So a lot of people are focused on this election and they're really ready to participate. And in Bulloch County, I want to say, and some of these numbers may be old and approximate numbers, but I want to say the voter rolls have increased for about 10% since 2016.
That's a lot. That's incredible.
And one of the biggest drivers is being able to go to the driver's license place when you get your Georgia driver's license renewed, and you go ahead and register at the same time. So those numbers have gone up. And in Bulloch County, roughly 42,000 to 43,000 registered voters. That's probably up maybe 4,000 to 5,000 from the last election. And but still, that's kind of only half. Bulloch County has almost 80,000 residents, so it should be more in the 50 to 60,000 range, not 40s. But
that's true,
right?
And so it's like they say at every election, it's all about turnout. It's all about getting your people who believe in you to go to the polls and vote.
Right. And I think this election cycle, with the presidential cycle running along with it, I think is very, we can all agree that it's very polarized.
A little bit.
And it's very charged politically. So I think the turnout for this election cycle is going to be probably one of the largest in history. And, Georgia recorded probably about 7.5 million registered voters in the state. So, I mean, that's an impressive number.
Yes, it is. Well, I had something to ask and it went out of my head. So I'll just let you take it from here. What do you want the voters to know about?
Well, I just want to let the people know that, just because you have people that are incarcerated, doesn't necessarily mean that they're all bad people. Sometimes we make bad decisions, and of course some people actually deserve to be in there. But what I like to tell people is that jail is really just a holding place while the person is going through the criminal justice process. So the conditions in the facility need to be maintained very well. So a lot of people and family members have been reaching out to me to get this stuff known, that some of the jail conditions right now are really not in the best that they should be. They have a bed bug infestation problem, possible. The food is just not, good quality. And of course, sometimes people say, oh, well, they deserve to be there. But still,
it's not a hotel.
It's not a hotel. Yeah. I'm not going to try to make it like the Hilton. But, there's human decency. When you have bugs and mites in your mattress, that's just not right. You should run a clean facility for both your inmates and for your employees. I mean, if you had a new hire employee and they started working there and now they're affected by whatever conditions are in the jail, that person probably is not going to stay there long.
Now that's, you mentioned the conditions. It's the jail is a holding place for people before they go to trial and everything. So my point being is that just because they're in jail doesn't necessarily mean they're guilty of what they've been charged of.
Right. So, I mean, you may have someone in there that came in on a DUI, just couldn't bond out, a shoplifting, and then their next door roommate is a murderer suspect. So, you just have to have a facility that's run safely, is clean, is properly staffed, and the staff are aware of, who's doing what, and just a good working environment. And I think that's what's kind of lacking right now.
Now, you mentioned the staff, and Sheriff Brown talked about staffing levels. What are your...
So I listened to him a little bit on the way in, and of course the staffing is very important. But when you lose over 30 people within the 3.5 years that you've been in there, then you kind of have to ask yourself, as the boss, why am I losing these people? So, when I left, along with other sergeants and captains that left, there was a lot of experience. And I didn't have, an exit interview or somebody say, hey, hold on a minute, let's try to work this out. What do we need to do, or what can we fix? to keep you here.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is when you bring in new employees and you tell them, look, if you start out of the jail and you work in the jail, I'm going to make you a road patrol deputy, which everybody normally wants to do that. You go, you start at, you start at the bottom, you want to get to the top, right? So you start in the jail, you do your time, you come into work on time, you look sharp, you understand the rules and regulations, you read up on the law, but there should be a process of selection for you to go to the police academy for advancement. And sometimes, I know about three different people that worked in the jail for years, and they weren't given the opportunity to go to the police academy, and now they work at Georgia Southern or other police agencies around here. So we're losing qualified personnel, and nobody seems to bat an eye at that. It is kind of baffling to me. So, losing, 20% of your staff within the 3.5 years you've been in office should be an indicator that something in your leadership is not jiving with people that have experience.
Now, Sheriff Brown mentioned growth again.
Right.
So what needs to be done in terms of growth at just for the sheriff's department, the jail facilities, that sort of thing?
I think he's right on a couple of things when it comes to mental health. So you really need to have these people that have these medical conditions kind of separate. Mm-hmm. So there was an incident a while back where they have somebody who has mental issues. They know he has mental issues. They couldn't get the proper medication to this person, but then they put him in a general population. So that's a recipe for disaster. So I think expanding certain things obviously needs to happen, but just to expand, just to have more people just put in there, I think we need to focus on other programs to eliminate people coming to jail and staying in jail than just building more space.
Mm-hmm. So that people don't stay there. Again, it's in my mind a holding facility while judicial processes are being worked out. Right. It shouldn't be a long-term.
Right. And again, everything is teamwork. So the sheriff has to really understand, look, if the commissioners give you this budget and you want to, in 5 years from now, you want to build a judicial complex, kind of like Liberty County has or Bryan County or Effingham County has, where everything is consolidated in one place. You have probate, magistrate, state, superior court. The bottom of the facility has a holding cell for, 50 inmates or whatever. So let's work towards that. Let's put money aside. Let's cut corners on, of course, not safety, but let's cut, abuse of overtime and things like that, and then leave that money in the general fund so we can get the commissioners to plan and build one big complex all at one time, not have sporadic build out the community. And you can just consolidate all that into one building.
And that, in my mind, would save, time for the staff. It would save, the driving time, if nothing else, between these facilities.
Right.
Gas, wear and tear on the vehicles, all that kind of thing. So,
right. So there's different things in the jail also, like, the program where the commissary, where the inmates get food and the telephone services. So when you have money and you have $200,000, $300,000 of that money come in, instead of buying new vehicles, new pickup trucks, you should invest that same money back into the facility to keep it clean and running and operating safely.
Okay, makes good sense. Well, it's 20 minutes until 10 o'clock. We'll be back with Rey Rodriguez in just a few minutes here on East Georgia's Morning Show.